Hello everyone, this is Jim Kirian from the EQUELLA team with another EQUELLA bulk importer tutorial. We're going to have a look at how to specify URLs inside EQUELLA items that have been uploaded with the EBI, and also how to provide display names to both URLs that we've uploaded and files that we've attached. So when we look at this wizard, we can see that there's actually two attachments controls, one that accepts files and this one that accepts URLs. So in this collection we should be able to upload both files and URLs. Now EQUELLA can also be configured that the one attachments control can accept both URLs and files, but in this case this one has been configured that it's two different attachments and therefore they're going to have two different XPaths. So the first thing I'm going to do is find out what these XPaths are, and as I've done in previous tutorials, I'm going to do that in the administration console looking at the collection definition. So here's our resources collection. Again, I open up the wizard for it and I can see there's the file attachments control that we've been uploading files to, and there's the associated XPath. But this is the other attachments control that's configured for URLs, and its XPath is metadata hyperlinks hyperlink. So that's what we're going to add to our CSV. Over here I'll add another column, and it's going to be this metadata slash hyperlinks slash hyperlink. So underneath this XPath I can put in URLs. So it has to be a fully qualified URL, so of this form I could do this, and I could put in pretty much any URL I like. And there we go. 3 URLs specified underneath the column. I'll go ahead and save that, go over to the EBI and reload the CSV because I have an additional column. There it is. It is and this time it's not metadata, so I changed the metadata form to URLs. So again, I can do a quick test and have a look at the output, and I can see that it's validated the hyperlink and I've got 3 successes, so I'm pretty comfortable with that, and I'll go ahead and do an import. And we've got 3 successes, so let's go have a look at it over in EQUELLA. We search our resources collection, and if we look at any one of these we can see now it's not just a file attachment here, but we've also got a URL as well. Next we're going to look at how, instead of displaying the file name and the raw URL, we're going to specify in our CSV a display name for each of these. So I want this to look like uniform circular motion, and this just to simply say Google Inc. In my CSV I need a column that corresponds to each of these values that actually gives those friendly names. Now I can place the column wherever I like. In fact, the order of columns, generally speaking, in a CSV don't matter at all, except in very special circumstances. So I'll go ahead and insert a column, and this column, because it's names of attachments, I can give it any name I like. It doesn't have to be an XPath, so I'm just going to say attachment names like this, and I'll go ahead and say circular motion as a friendly name there, and I'll cheat a little bit. I'll just copy this over here and I'll use the title for this file over here. I can do the same with the URLs, so I'll go over to my URLs here and I'll add a column. Again, I can call it whatever I like, just so I know what it's for. I'll just say call it URL names, nice and obvious, and we'll say the EQUELLA website, Pearson website, and Google Inc. Okay, so we've got our friendly names. Now again, I've added columns, I've changed column headings, so that means back on the EBI I need to do a reload. Sure enough, it detects the changes, and I say go ahead, import these new columns. Now if I follow through here, I can see there's my attachments names column there, and I have to change the column data type from metadata to attachment names. Likewise with the URL names. URL names change the column data type from metadata, I change it to hyperlink names. A quick test import here, and I can see there's 3 successes. I'm going to go ahead and import them. Okay, 3 successes again, so I'll go over to EQUELLA, do my search of the resources collection, and look at this one here, and I can see now there's friendly display names for both the file attachment and the URL. Next we're going to see how we can attach multiple files and multiple URLs to the one item in EQUELLA with the EBI. So it's pretty much done the same way as we did with the multi-value metadata fields in the previous tutorial. We effectively have 2 choices. We can put multiple files into the one column using a delimiter, or we can add additional columns with the same XPaths for file attachment locations and add the files that way. I'm going to do it with delimiters today, so I'm going to simply add this file, 2 files to the first item, and I'll attach that same file over there, and I'll put this file on this item. So now each of the 3 items has got 2 files specified. Likewise for the URLs, I can do the same. So now we have 2 URLs and 2 files specified for each item. I'll save my CSV, go back to the EBI, and do I need to do a reload? No, the column headings haven't changed, so there was actually no need to reload the CSV at all. If you're changing content inside the CSV, so the rows beneath the column headings, then you don't have to reload the CSV in the EBI, but there's no harm in doing that. What we do need to do, however, though, is the attachment names are delimited by pipe, so I have to say what that delimiter is. So I'm sorry, the attachment locations. So we'll put a pipe here, and likewise for URL names, hyperlinks, sorry, we're going to put a pipe here to instruct the EBI that files and hyperlinks are separated by the pipe as a delimiter. Now, back on the CSV, you'll note that we do have URL names here, and we also have attachment names as well. But we've only got 1 URL name, whereas we've got 2 hyperlinks, and that's the case for each one of these. What that means is it's going to name them in the order it finds them. So it's found one name, so it'll give it to the first URL, and the second URL won't get named. But if we want to name both of them, then we need to provide the names in the same order inside the cell as we do the URLs. I'll just do it for the first item, and we'll see that the second and third items will have their first URL named, but not their second URL. Likewise for files over here, I can grab this name here and add it here. So again, if you follow through, you'll see that there's two files specified here and there's two attachment names. So both of them will get named. Whereas the second row, second item, there's two files being attached but only one name's given. So the first file is going to get named, the second one we'll just see the file name displayed. Okay, so we go ahead and save it. And back on the EBI, over here, we don't need to reload the CSV. No column headings have changed. However, we've also delimited the attachment name. So we have to say what the delimiter we used was, which was a pipe. That's a typical delimiter. And the URL names are also delimited. So now let's give that a test. And there were 3 successes, so that looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and start the import, and it's completed again with 3 successes. So we'll do a search, and circular motion diagram, we gave both the files and both URLs names, and we can see there's circular motion, that's a file. Uniform Circular Motion Quiz, that's a file, and EQUELLA website is a hyperlink, and Google Inc. is a hyperlink. They all got named because we gave names for every single one of these files and attachments, pairs of files and pairs of attachments. However, if we look at the next item, we'll see we only gave one name, but there were 2 files, so the first file got named and the second one didn't. We just got the file name spit out. Likewise with the URLs, we gave one URL, a hyperlink name, but we had 2 URLs, so the first URL got a nice name, but the second one didn't. And that's the behavior. So in this tutorial, we saw how we can use delimiters to specify multiple URLs, multiple files, and name them in an upload using the EBI. We can also do the same with multiple columns, which is something that we played with in the multi-value tutorial.